Well, good Monday morning. Well, I've got a bit of a cold, but that's all it is. Pond is still at 10 degrees, even though we had quite a good frost last night. I think it's mainly down to this sheltered position where I have the pond, where it's protected by the end of the house and the wall there. So fish are still very active, surprisingly active, but we have had a very mild November thus far. I've noticed a couple of them have really put on some size since I put these covers on, but we'll be able to look at them more in the spring when the covers come off, and we'll be able to see the fish better then. But they all look very healthy. I do come out from time to time and spend sort of half an hour watching them just to check that nothing's got into the pond or that they're suffering any bacterial problems or anything like that. I've took the floss out of the shower because it wasn't doing anything. There's no algae at the minute. Its main purpose in the spring and summer is to catch the algae that the pressure filter sponges doesn't catch, and with me keeping on top of the pressure filter maintenance, there's just no algae. Well, there's no algae in the pond, and there's nothing getting through to the floss, so I've took it out. And gave the box filter a good check over on Saturday. That's nice and clean, so I don't need to do any maintenance on that at the minute. I have changed my water change routine from weekly to fortnightly, so I didn't do a water change this weekend. I will be doing one this coming weekend, and that's really it on the pond. So it's not a great deal to report, hence not many videos. After this clip, there's going to be as promised, another clip on my fish tanks, and maybe do another pond update in early December. So catch you then. Well, good Sunday evening, and as promised, I thought I'd do a bit of footage of my other tanks. This is my pair of Midas cichlids. Well, possible pair. I've got a definite male, the big orange fish that I've had for 7 years. We call him Simon, with the big hump on his head. The other one, still the jury is out on. It might be a female, but it might also be a male playing like he's a female to avoid getting attacked. Hard to tell with these particular fish. The males are dominant males are very obvious because of the humped head. Now this tank is 5 feet by 2 feet deep by 18 inches wide. Holds approximately 400 odd litres, and it's filtered by a Fluval 404 external filter, and gets a water change weekly. And these guys have had a water change today, and They get a fairly basic diet of pellets. I do change the brand of pellets every so often, just so they don't get addicted to the same brand. There is a pleco in there to help keep the glass clean, but he gets rather bullied and he hides under the piece of wood at that end of the tank. And for big cichlids, breeding cichlids especially, this is pretty standard decor. The big clay pot provides like a spawning cave that they could spawn in. The pipes provide some shelter for the smaller female to hide in if the male does get overly aggressive. But he's pretty accepting of this whitefish, so I am hopeful it is a female, but it's been in here. We've been together 3 to 4 months and we've not had any breeding action yet, so we'll see. Now, if I turn round, we have my dual 190 litre Trigon tank, and that contains a fairly new fish for me, my flower horn, which I've called Lucky. Now, flower horns are a man-made species of fish. They are not a natural occurring fish, and they've been made by crossbreeding various American cichlids to produce these fish that get huge bumps on their heads, even bigger than my big Midas cichlid, and some phenomenal colours. This one is what they call a super red dragon crossed with a Thai silk, so a very red form of flower horn crossed with a very bluey green form of flower horn, and the dominant colour on him is the bluey green squiggles, but you can see the underlying red as well. And we call him Lucky because I bought him online, and when his box turned up, I opened it up and he was laying flat on the bottom of the bag, and I thought I'd lost him in transit. So I floated the bag in here just to see if he was still alive, and sure enough, as the water warmed up in the bag, he perked up. So I decided to call him Lucky on that basis, because he was lucky to survive the journey. Now, he gets fed some very high protein flower horn food, which is supposed to bring out his humped head and his colours, and that seems to be doing the trick. And I'm keeping it in a bare bottom tank, mainly for ease of cleaning. I can easily siphon out all the poops every 2 or 3 days. There is a new fish being added to this tank. It's a pleco, up there. Now, he has been bullying the pleco quite a lot, but the pleco has overnight cleaned all that glass at the back there on the bottom. So hopefully, I've only had the pleco 3 days. Hopefully they'll settle down together, and all the green on the side glass you can see and on the bottom will get cleaned off by the pleco, and the tank should look a lot better then. So anyway, that's my tanks and my fish. This guy's a right personality. He loves you being by the tank, and he loves the camera. So So that's Lucky, Simon and Sam. Catch you in a bit.